Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to do like some painting and journaling with me videos because I was very kindly gifted some Happy Mail products from Arteza. They very kindly sent me some of their premium watercolors to test out because I, even though I said I wasn't going to get a Hobonichi cousin to sort of journal in this year, I was really missing it. So I thought, actually, you know what, I'm gonna just get one. And since we're like almost at the end of March now, I did have like quite a few pages to catch up on, so it's been like perfect timing to receive these paints. I can kind of use them in my journal, and also just, you know, sort of test out the quality and different kind of methods for using them. I did already, you know, immediately like open them up, the watercolors, and use them. And one thing I noticed straight away is that they just have like zero chalky feeling to it. So like usual watercolors, you know, they might be quite, you know, vibrant and nice, but they're very, very chalky. And when you write on them, the pen kind of starts lifting the paint off. Whereas I just didn't have any issues with that at all. I was writing like over the water drops there and just no problem at all. Beautiful, like vibrant colors. This actually just even looks like I've just used like a brush marker pen. It's just so smooth. You honestly can't tell that there's, you know, like this is watercoloring. So I just love it already. Let me show you what it looks like. So I am like a massive fan of Arteza products. I've used their vinyls. I use their vinyls constantly to like make all my sort of decals. I've even had these metallic paints that I purchased from them quite a while ago. You can see I do definitely use them a lot, but they're so pigmented that actually you don't, you know, a little goes a long way. So they still, you know, like pretty much all still full, even though I have actually used them loads and loads. These are all like the really pretty shimmery colors, really gorgeous. But these are just the sort of premium ones. I did actually already go ahead and swatch them all, just because when I'm using them, I kind of like to see which tone I'm going for, like especially when there's multiple colors, like all the different blues there. I can kind of have a quick look and see what shade I want to go for. I am absolutely obsessed with the magenta and the turquoise and the jade green. Actually, those three colors are just so stunning. Really vibrant and beautiful. Again, like I said, very smooth, nothing comes off. The pan comes like this, so you almost get like two palettes, which is really nice. Gives you lots of space to mix colors. I just leave these on here and reuse them, because as soon as I add like a bit of water, I'll be able to use that, so nothing is wasted. Again, I have kind of used a lot of the blues and all these colors at the top quite a bit, but very pigmented again, so I can tell that these are going to last me a really long time. So yeah, I was thinking I might just do some kind of galaxy type bookmarks with these, just because it's kind of like the easiest way for me to like test out colors in terms of how they blend together and how vibrant they look, because it doesn't require too much skill. So yeah, I'm gonna make some, like paint some bookmarks, galaxy ones. I'll do like a few, you know, like layerings. I normally like put paint down, let it dry, paint again, and then add a bit of extras here and there. So I will use my watercolors for that. And then the other items that they very kindly sent me are these. I think they're pronounced Gouache Colors. I've just heard such great things about these in terms of they're a little bit more opaque than watercolors apparently. So you can almost like in between, I guess, of watercolors and acrylics. So they're much more vibrant, but they're easy to use, just like watercolors are. I just, from kind of playing around with them, the main difference I kind of noticed is that when you're using watercoloring, if you try to put like a lighter color on top of the dark blue here, it wouldn't really work. It would kind of, you know, just kind of become sort of darkish, and maybe if you're using like too contrasting colors, it would even become a bit muddy. So for watercoloring, you definitely need to like put the lighter colors down first and then add darker colors to it. Whereas with the gouache colors, it seems like you can go both ways. You can add light to dark and dark to light. So if you put like a layer of dark paint down, you can then still go over it with a lighter color, and as long as you're not sort of wetting it too much and going over and over again with the brush, it's going to allow you to put lighter colors on top, which is really good actually. And I'm kind of really excited to play around with that a little bit more. Like I said, if you sort of go over the colors over and over again with the brush, you do risk reactivating the color underneath. So while you can layer loads and loads of colors, layer upon layer, you do have to wait for each layer to completely dry in between. And so even if you're adding like lighter colors, it's not a problem. But you, just have to make sure you're not using like tons of water or tons of like brush strokes. Again, from what I can tell, you can add water to them to make them a little bit more sort of translucent, so a little bit more like watercolory effect. But then obviously you will lose the kind of opaqueness. So yeah, that is what I have. These ones, if you look at the colors, again, these are all like sort of the almost like metallic-y colors, very, very beautiful shimmery type colors, really good range of colors as well. I love that there's so many pinks and purples and blues to choose from, because those are honestly like the main colors I use when I'm painting anyway. And they come in little tubes, almost like you could get, you know, watercolor in tubes. Tiny amount again goes a long way, but you aren't necessarily diluting these with water, so what you have in this tube is what you will get. Whereas I guess with the watercolors, you know, you can have like a tiny drop of paint and tons of water. I haven't quite decided what project I'm going to do with these, but I'm definitely going to get started with my watercolors and the galaxies, and then I will show you guys how that turns out, and then I will decide on a project for the gouache colors. I was thinking I could do the same project in terms of like painting the exact same thing but with gouache, and then I could get like a really good comparison. But let's see, if I get too bored of painting galaxies after this, then I might choose something else. So yeah, let's get started. And actually, before we do, I just want to say that I have all the links for all these products linked in the description box below. And I think there's like a 10% discount code as well if you use my link or my code to save money on, and that code I think you can use on any products all across their website. So yeah, let's get started. So I kind of just put some watercolor paper down and used washi to stick it down, just because whenever I use watercolors, I definitely use so much water that it kind of starts lifting and curling the paper. And I've seen like quite a lot of people kind of stick it down like this. So it did, you can see already there that I'm so heavy-handed with water that it already started warping the paper a little bit. But definitely not as bad as if it was just in my notebook. So a little tip there is to kind of use washi tape to stick that down. I do, like I said, like kind of do a few layers at a time. So I will, like, I've put the black layer down initially, and then even this multicolored one, and I'll play around with a couple of colors, blend them, let that dry, work on the next one, and then let the whole thing dry completely before I put on a second layer on each bookmark, I guess. I was just kind of looking up some like video tutorials. If you actually check out Arteza's channel, they have lots of really cool tips and videos. Even their website gives you information on how you can use their products, so that's always quite fun to see. But yeah, I love like all things Galaxy, so I thought I'm gonna definitely test this out, and I can't wait for you guys to see the final product, because it actually turned out way better than it was looking at this point. I was just feeling like I just couldn't get the hang of it. The colours are, you know, really, really easy to work with. I eventually figured out that, oh yeah, I should actually not use directly from the pan, because it was just giving me too much of a vibrant color, when actually the first layer I wanted it to be quite pale. So that's good. I was kind of using the pan. But yeah, just using like my favorite colors, pinks and purples and yellows, blues, to kind of create these gorgeous galaxy patterns. I think my video cut out at that point, but this was a little bit later on, and I'm just kind of going over, kind of adding more pigmented colors this time, not kind of adding so much water to it. And just yeah, I actually found these watercolors really easy to work with. Again, like I said, I definitely need to use less water in the future, so that's why you'll see that I'm kind of dabbing some excess off with tissue, which actually created a really nice sort of white space. It was like a bit of a happy accident, to be honest, but like you can see there that when I lift off some of the colour with tissue, it actually creates like a really nice highlighted section. So that was actually a cool unintended happy result. So yeah, I'm going to just add some more colours, keep blending, blending, blending until it kind of looks how I want it to, and then I will let that dry again completely. So this is the next day, and I tried like various ways to add like stars to my Galaxy dashboards. That's my phone pinging. I didn't actually have, what I was actually looking for was acrylic paints, because they are definitely more brighter and stick out more, but in the end I kind of went with just white watercolor, and then I went in with I don't know what this stuff is. I found some white stuff. It's definitely not acrylics, but something white. And then I actually used a white jelly roll pen, which worked quite well actually, better than I thought, to just add some more stars. And then I even brought in my metallic paints. I thought the black would look really good, but it actually was standing out like too much, so I kind of dabbed that off and created these like almost like shooting star effects, little tiny little flecks with this metallic paint, and the end result was just really, really nice. And I don't know, you guys decide how many stars or, you know, extras is too much. There is a picture coming up right now. So with my gouache paints, I decided to paint something quite different, something that I haven't really experimented much with before, which is sort of landscapes. So I found this like tutorial, again, just like very small pieces on, you know, like sort of smaller scenes on one page. And that kind of gives me lots of room to experiment. And if one sort of square doesn't quite turn out, I can start fresh on the other one. So that's kind of how I used these paints. Now, straight away, the first thing I realized is how much more control you have over your painting with gouache than watercolors. With watercolors, they kind of run into each other, and if you want like a very loose sort of look, yes, they are, you know, great. If you want a bit more control with your painting, I would say gouache seems to be the better choice for that. Obviously, I have seen like, as I was like kind of looking for ideas on how to use them, I have seen people do like watercolor first and then use gouache. So like, let's say what I'm doing now could be done in watercolors, and then once that's dry, you could actually go on top and paint with gouache more specific details that you want. So yeah, there's definitely ways to combine both of them. They have their, both have their sort of, I wouldn't say pros and cons, but more like what you're, the effect that you're going for. I guess that's, then you would decide which paints to use for that. So, in terms of like maintaining the color, this was really great. Like you can see that gorgeous blue that I, put on. If I had added like a lighter color in watercolors, I generally just can't seem to blend, and get a vibrant enough color in the watercolors. Whereas with the gouache, you can see that blue at the top stayed very, very dark, and I really loved it. You can also play around with textures, so you can see there with the clouds, you get all those swirls and grooves, which is really, really nice as well. So yeah, overall, I just had so much fun playing with these. I would definitely, I'm going to experiment with like doing a sort of the galaxy style painting with these as well, just to get a really good comparison of what the two different paints, the results you get. This was a little bit out of my comfort zone, the landscapes, kind of blending the horizons and things like that, but it was still really fun. And because there's like, I was trying to add like grass and bushes and clouds, all things that kind of need a bit of texture, I thought actually, the gouache was better for this. So yeah, just had so much fun. I will just carry on like putting a few layers on, letting it dry, and then I went back with sort of smaller details once everything was really dry. So you can see that I'm able to add darker colours on top of lighter colours, which obviously you can do with watercolours as well. But you'll see that I was also able to add that white moon onto the dark blue, which you definitely cannot do with watercolors. So that's, like I said, one of the main things I noticed is how you can not only go from light to dark, you can also add white or lighter colors onto darker colors as well. So that was really quite fun and new for me, because I don't really use any other paints other than watercolors. So that's what I'm used to. I'm used to like putting down all your lighter colors first and then, your darker colors. So even in this scene, I just loved adding the little crescent moon with the little stars. Just really fun to be able to add those details actually. So yeah, you will see the sort of final results coming up shortly. Let me know in the comments below which one you prefer and whether you have experimented with gouache, whether you've experimented with mixing gouache and watercolors, and definitely check out Arteza's videos. If you want to like buy any of these products that I've showed you guys, I have left the links below in the description box. And as I said, you do get a 10% discount for anything you purchase from Arteza if you use my code. And thank you so much for watching, guys. It's been really fun, and I'm definitely going to be experimenting and playing around with these colours a lot more, and definitely in my Hobonichi cousin as well. So thank you for watching, guys. Take care. I will see you soon. Bye.